What is up, you guys? Glitches here, coming at you with another Dauntless video. But first, if you guys enjoy quality gaming content, then be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And if you enjoyed today's video, then be sure to smack that like button as always and comment down below. I appreciate all of your guys' feedback. Makes me a better content creator and helps me make videos you guys actually want to watch. That being said, for today's video, as you can see, I did the all-day grind yesterday to hit max rank 25 in the new Frost Escalation, and during all of those runs I learned a lot about which amps were better than others and which ones I would recommend to put points into as you rank up. So let's run over to the Escalation Terminal and I'll go over all of those and show you the best ones to choose as you're leveling up your ranks. All right, you guys, so here we are at the Escalation Terminal, and as you can see, we already hit rank 25, the max rank for Frost Escalation. So if we jump into here is my current Escalation amp tree with all the perks that I decided to go through. And let's go step by step, tier by tier, and I'll explain which ones I recommend to get and why. So in tier 1, I recommend, obviously, when you're a lower level on the Escalation, to start out doing like 1 to 13s. Especially if you're solo, until you get either the first or second power boost, depending on how skilled you think you are, because that will make the 10 to 50s much easier. I was lucky enough to have a pre-made 4-man group, so we were a little bit more organized and we all had specific builds for each of the main avatars, which really helped. So we did 10 to 50s the entire time, but that was just our particular case. But typically, definitely try and do the lower level ones first until you get those first boosts, because it will make your life much easier. But to start out, first thing that you're definitely going to want to take is a point into Insulated Gear. Your frostbite rises 10% slower with this upgrade, and it stacks multiple times as you go through the perk tree. So you're going to want to grab these every single time, especially when we get towards the end. They come in handy. I'll explain why later. The next point that I took in was frozen armor. You gain Gaining a Frost Defender amp grants a 25 health shield that refreshes every 10 seconds, and each additional Frost Defender amp acquired adds 25 additional shields. So that will give you some more bonus sustainability throughout the fight. So really good perk there. And these are kind of a toss-up depending on what type of build you typically run. I went with the additional movement speed, but if you're running a wounding type build, like war pikes or chain blades with the wound avatar, then I'd probably recommend Farslayer's Precision over the Zai's Maneuvers, just because the bonus wound damage is really nice for your avatar. But in this case, I went with Zai's Maneuvers, but those are probably the only two that you could potentially swap here. Moving on to tier 2, the very first point you want to put into Insulated Gear 2. That will stack and make the frostbite effect rise 10% slower even more. So really good there. As well as 3 points into Borman's Might. That will give you 15% passive stagger damage per hit, which is really good, and that will last throughout the entire escalation. So not only is that good just in general, but if you're running the stagger amp, the stagger avatar, then that's even better, because that will make your avatar a lot more useful. I didn't put any points into hot and cold because I was running sword and I already had decent attack speed as it is. But if you really feel like you need the additional attack speed for slower weapons, then you can potentially swap your points here. I just went with Borman's Might for the passive because it works on all weapons equally. So that's what I'd recommend there. At this point, you've probably grabbed your first power boost, so you're getting a little bit tougher. So that's good. Moving on to tier 3. We have Insulated Gear 3. Definitely pick that up for your first point. That'll reduce it by another 10%. So really good there. We're slowly starting to get better frostbite management, and it gets to the point where you can take this final amp because you can keep your frostbite meter low the entire time without any problems once you get to the higher levels. So definitely take that early on. And then I also took the 3 points into Mora's Reinforcement for the 15% passive damage reduction. And that also goes throughout the entire escalation. So really good passive upgrade there. I didn't put any points into Bottled Warmth, again, because once you get to the later levels, the buildup of your frostbite meter isn't as big of a deal anymore. So there's no point in wasting a point there. Moving on to tier 4. By this point, we would have gotten the exploration merit bonus and probably getting close to the power boost 2. I believe you get this at like rank 10. And the first thing I did was put 3 points into Cat's Claws for the 10% passive attack damage. Really, really good there. Probably one of the best passive upgrades in the tree. So you definitely want that to be maxed out. And then I also put 1 point into Warm Blooded because of the perk that we're getting in the 5th tier. So what Warm Blooded does is the first time you'd become frostbitten each run, so basically your meter becoming fully filled, it will immediately reduce your frostbite buildup by 50%, which will just auto break you out of your ice cage. So if you get frozen, this is like a free life basically. Really, really good to have, especially when you're running this amp in the 5th tier, which has never bothered me. And what that does is once you get these power boosts and you're able to manage your frostbite meter better, you can pick this one up, which causes your frostbite meter to rapidly fill back up to 50% if it goes below 50, but it also gives you 15% passive attack damage and damage reduction throughout the entire escalation. So your frost meter will fill up a lot quicker, but you're getting a huge buff throughout the whole fight. So having this one ahead of time will sort of be like a safety net if this overwhelms you at any given point for some reason. This particular amp I didn't take right away because I wasn't sure how my final few points were going to balance out. But I did take this after getting my first passive upgrade for the avatar that I like the most, which in this case was the support avatar. So I picked that up in tier 6 and then went back and took Heated Blade. And what Heated Blade does is you absorb the flames from the different blaze braziers, and it causes your next attack to deal 50% more damage. But what's cool is you can stack this multiple times. So for example, the exploration route that you take to get from round 4 to the final boss, you pass through like 5 braziers on the way to the boss. So by the time you get there, you'll have 5 stacks of this Heated Blade, which means your first 5 attacks with your weapon are going to do a ton of bonus damage. So this is really, really good for all weapons, but especially like the axe and the hammer, these weapons that do big one-hit damage type attacks. Really, really good there, and it's going to make you have really, really powerful attacks for your first few hits because it stacks like that. But in the 5th tier, after picking up Never Bothered Me, I put the full 3 points into Lucky Strikes to get the 15% additional critical strike chance throughout the whole escalation. And then the last few points, the last 3 points, because by this point I had already put the 1 into my first avatar of choice, the last 3 you can put into the other avatars. And the reason I built the tree like this was it gave enough points to get all the main perks that I wanted, as well as 1 in each of these final avatar amps, so that way you never have to worry about resetting the tree. If you're swapping your build out, you will have the amp at all times for every potential avatar that you might have to pick. And that's it. By this point, you would have had all 3 boosts, and moving on towards the final Frost Escalation prestige cosmetics. And that's pretty much it. These are definitely the ones that I found most useful, going from 1 to 25. And if you go in the order I showed you, you guys should be all set. Should be pretty straightforward, pretty easy for you. And the amps are really, really helpful if you get them in the correct order. So yeah, if you guys found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button, comment down below. Appreciate you guys' feedback. And if you're not already subscribed, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We are less than 30 subscribers away from hitting that big 1,000 subscriber milestone. So I appreciate all of your guys' support. That being said, I hope you guys had an amazing day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Also, if you're looking to join a killer community of like-minded gamers, then be sure to click the link in the description and join the Glitch Gang Discord server. We continue to grow every day, and it's filled with all your favorite game discussion channels, as well as several LFG channels to help you find that perfect group for your next hunt or raid. Lastly, if you're new to the channel and want to keep up to date with all my future content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Hope you all had a great day, and I will catch you on the next one.